Two men from this church, Pastor Alexis from New Hope Revival, who you know, and Tim Cook, who many of you also know, started a business that provides in-home care for elderly and for homebound people. And it's not your typical business plan. Lots of companies do good things, but it's usually profits first with some socially responsible stuff sprinkled in. But these guys, they've reversed that. They've turned that on its head, and their main goal is to bring flourishing to traditionally marginalized communities such as immigrants by employing them and make a profit. And they are unabashedly Christian. Their website says that they are founded with biblical principles of truth and honesty and compassion and trust. And it's third way in a number of ways. So let me list some of them. First, it's founded by a black and white owners crossing racial and national barriers, and they share the ownership 50-50. Second, they go over and above to provide historically marginalized groups with advancement opportunities, higher than market rate wages, flexible hours, interest-free loans, mentoring programs, all to break cycles of poverty. Number three, they encourage the development of their employees, even if that means the employees leave after they've poured all these resources into developing them, and the employees leave for a better opportunity. They celebrate that because the thriving of their employees is part of their bottom line. Fourth, they equip minority employees to grow through the ranks and eventually become owners of the company managing their own locations. It's not charity, it's empowerment. Fifth, they were originally going to start it as a nonprofit, but then they responded to God's call that business is blessed by God, that profits rightly used are not evil, and that our jobs are a pathway to human flourishing. So what is that? Is that socialist, capitalist, or is it a penguin in an art museum? Something just different. Sixth, Tim says for him, part of doing this company came after years of wrestling with the idea that the only way to do meaningful ministry was to be a pastor or a missionary, a false dichotomy pastors have created, right? Either you're a pastor doing God's work or you're just a secular worker. Nonsense. Theirs is a third way that combines business and ministry. It's the power of and. Profits and human flourishing, immigrants and native born. And it creates new realities by helping marginalized people with a hand up while giving biblically based loving care to elderly who need it. Now, my point is not that you have to go start a business. My question is this: how can you be third way this week? How can Jesus help you be third way this week? Maybe it's leading with grace in a conversation. Maybe it's using some of your time or your talent or your treasure to create a new reality for people. Maybe it's to have a loyalty that crosses all kinds of ideological lines that's confusing, but it's based on following Jesus.